Congressman Trent Kelly is joining us now on SuperTalk Mississippi. Congressman, it's nice to meet you.
Hey, Scott. How are you today?
I'm well. I know you're a Fightaw and Ole Miss grad. Let's just start. Where do you think Jackson Dart's going to land in the draft tomorrow night?
Oh, wow. I don't know, but, there's a lot of stipulation somewhere in the first round, maybe the second, but it'd be great if he went to the Saints. That would be good for all of us around here, and they seem to be one of the teams that's in play.
Yeah, I think there's growing interest in Jackson, and I hope he does well. We'll talk about the draft a little bit later on. I want to get into a few things, something I've wanted to talk about the last couple of times I've filled in for Gerard, and that's shipbuilding. But first, I want to get this out of the way. You're on the Intel Committee in the House. Pete Hegseth continues to come under fire over all these signal chats, as well as some other White House officials. Any concern on this? Is this just an attack on Pete Hegseth, or is there a legitimate concern here?
Well, I think a little bit of both. Number one, I think both of those happened at the same time. And what got me the most is this Atlantic reporter got this thing, and he sat on it for 2 weeks and waited right till open hearing that we had on the Intel Committee to break it. So that shows you right there that there is obviously a targeted attack, which they've started on Pete from the very get-go. So and this other one happened at the same time and was leaked. So, yes, poor choice to use that venue. Shouldn't have done it. I've seen the stuff. To me, there's nothing classified. It was improper. It was maybe not the smartest thing to do. It definitely is something that shouldn't have been done. But that being said, I don't think there's any damage. And I think we're talking about the same event, just two different sources on signal. And I would vouch to say I doubt that Secretary Hegseth uses signal again as a form of communication.
Right. It's probably off of his phone now. And look, I think the legitimate concern is that if this was an approved form of communication, knowing what we know about signal and China's dominance in telecom. And I get it. If you're not sharing classified information, it's one thing. I have a signal chat actually with Vice President Vance. I knew JD before he ran for the Senate, and all we did on Signal was exchange political memes. So there was nothing classified in my Signal chat with the Vice President.
Yeah, I just, listen, that is not an authorized form of communication for anything that is sensitive in nature, whether that's talking about anything in the Department of Defense, operations, plans, any of those things, whether classified or not. So hopefully they have shifted away from that. Like I said, this all happened in one event. Now, I'm sure it happened before then, but since then, I would be shocked if anybody chose to use that as a venue to communicate on official business.
And we have more secure lines of communication for that classified information that I'm sure they're using now. Congressman Trent Kelly here on SuperTalk Mississippi. You co-introduced the Ships for America Act, which follows up on the president's executive order on shipbuilding, and this is going to be great for the state.
Yeah, actually, we dropped this last year, and then we dropped it again this year, working with Senator Mark Kelly, also working with Senator Todd Young out of Indiana. And then we've got Rep. Garamendi. So, listen, we've gotten behind China. We used to be one of the greatest maritime nations of all. And if you look at the empires over history, whether it's the British Empire or anything else, they've had a great Navy. And so we have to have a great Navy. And it's more than just the military Navy. It's the shipping and the shipping lanes and the logistics. So we have to reinvigorate our shipbuilding across America. And we've just got a lot of atrophy. And the SHIPS Act is one of those things. And we're working with the Senate, the House, and work with the administration. And so hopefully we can get this done to reinvigorate our shipbuilding industry in the States.
I forget the exact number, but I believe China's Navy outnumbers the U.S. Navy by at least 50 ships today. And I realize that our Navy probably has better technology, but this is just a crucial part of our national defense. It's building
China
more
right
carriers, more carrier task force.
China is building more in one shipyard right now than we are in the entire nation. I mean, we have 80 U.S. flag vessels in international commerce, and China has over 5,500. So it's not just the military Navy. The military Navy, I trust, will hold our own. We do have better technology, better ships, and know how to use them better. But it concerns me in the international shipping in areas other than defense.
And we need to protect the maritime lanes, as you mentioned. And what can Bollinger, what can Ingalls do to help in that regards?
Well, I think they're already doing all they can. They're actually some of the top of the game. And when I speak of Ingalls, I'm talking about Ingalls in Mississippi. They just do a great job of producing on time and under budget and producing a lot of ships. And they have a great workforce, which maintains consistent. Same with Bollinger. Ben down there does a great job working with them. What we have to do is maintain that workforce. We have to build more ships, and they have to get a little bit into the commercial. And HII is not going to get into the commercial, but Bollinger does. They're doing all they can do. We just need more ships being built, and I think that comes with demand. We don't have the demand here in America, so therefore they can't build up a workforce, make the capital investments to build ships unless there's a demand to buy American ships, whether those are military or commercial.
It seems like Mississippi might have an inside track, especially on the military side, with Senator Wicker on the Armed Services Committee in the Senate. How can we keep Mississippi more competitive than other cities, other states that may be in the shipbuilding business?
Well, we already are, and as you know, I chair the Seapower Subcommittee on the Armed Services Committee in the House. So between Roger and I, they've got plenty of work at Ingalls. And what matters is, though, I don't think it's the influence of Senator Wicker or myself that helps. But what is really important is that workforce down there and the team that works at Huntington Ingalls. Like I said, they're on time, under budget, or ahead of time, and that's why they continue to get ships. You also have down in Mobile, and so we will continue but it's the workforce down there that makes a difference. The workforce in Mississippi, we just have some of the greatest employees in the nation.
I can use this kind of as a transition. We're talking to Congressman Trent Kelly. I know after the 2017 Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, there was a pretty nice bonus at Ingalls. It's critical that we extend those tax cuts. How close do you think it is to happening now in the House?
Well, hopefully it'll be part of reconciliation again, and hopefully we'll make it permanent this time. Listen, Mike Johnson, Speaker Johnson, has performed miracles in getting, I'm on the team. I'm on the Trump team. I am on the team to get these tax cuts done, to get reconciliation done, to do all the things that move America forward and get us out of the past. Unfortunately, we have 2 or 3 to 5 on our side who like to be on TV, and they've always got the best idea in the room, and they're gonna always they want the attention, so they're gonna drag everything out. But I think that Speaker Johnson and the rest of our leadership team in the Republican conference and the 95% of us who back Trump and back the policies that it have, I think we'll get it done as soon as we get back in the next couple of weeks.
There are a lot of people on the right, a lot of Republicans who believe that Speaker Johnson is in over his head. But he's got a pretty tough job trying to wrangle the Republican caucus, especially with those members you mentioned.
Yeah, I mean, the results, listen, just look at the results. Every time that we have a bill come up is he can't do it, he can't get it done. It started with he can't get reelected speaker. It has been the budget that we got done that no one said we could do. Everything that we've done is a 1 or 2 vote margin, and they're working overtime. And here's the thing about him. He's a man of faith. I don't think the power for him to do what he's done rests in himself. It rests in the power that he trusts in God to deliver those things, and then he works relentlessly, and he's just a great leader up there in getting things done. And like I said, they're not always pretty. Watching the sausage made is never pretty, but it tastes good when you cook it.
Especially with such a slim majority. We've got less than a minute here, Congressman. Do you expect any pushback on raising the debt ceiling as much as has been proposed, and new talk about increasing tax on the wealthiest tax brackets?
Yeah. The debt ceiling is always a tough one. I don't like voting for debt ceilings. Most of us don't, but President Trump needs this to enact his agenda. And listen, at the end of the day, we've got to get this done because America does not default on its bills. And that's the 2 options. Either do a debt ceiling increase or default on our obligations. And I just refuse to default on our obligations.
Congressman Trent Kelly, keep up the great work.
Thank you. You have a great day, Scott.